Hello.
Hey.
Lovely to meet you over this technology.
Yeah.
So I read your commentary.
hmm
Totally made good sense to me. One of the things that I was trying to fit in there in that very short amount of words.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
the small amount of space, you can't really clarify what you want to say.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, my biggest concern
yeah,
is
please.
that you can get lost in this dark place.
Yes.
That was my fear. Not to say that I mean, of course we need to go there, but we need to go with caution, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm curious, like, what I know you worked you were the first director of a Holocaust museum.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I wonder if those experiences of knowing that people have to be careful going into those places was connected to some of that work or other work.
Well, especially that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because we started taping, videotaping. This is years ago, so was new technology then.
Yeah.
Main survivors, and yeah, when people have to go into those really dark places, it's very terrifying, I think. And of course, the reasons are good, and the you need to do it, but
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
Yeah. I want, the show up project out here. I sat in on a couple interviews. My stepmom was doing them at the time, that major gathering. And I
Yeah.
wondered if there was any follow up, like in the weeks or months later, to make sure the person was okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Maine, I mean, it's such a small community
Right.
that the survivors, I mean, and the people that were doing the interviewing were really knew each other, so it wasn't like a one night stand experience. But
Right.
you're right, it. And I mean, I used to go sometimes with the survivors when they would go to schools to speak, like at high schools and things, and the experiences. I mean, it was like these people had to relive.
Yeah.
It's like when you start telling about a searing experience of your life like that, you could just see these images. I mean, just the looks on the faces and the body language and the way it was so painful. In
Yeah.
fact, I had one woman when I was teaching later after, and I had her come. And she spoke, and she got lost on the way there, and it was really a 10-minute drive, and she'd driven it many times. But she said as she was driving, she started thinking about what she was going to say, and then she got lost in
Ah.
that whole
Yeah.
forest of
Yeah.
memories. And so she ended up showing up like 45 minutes later, and I had to keep the students, from there, just so they could hear her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Being cautious about going into those dark places
Yes,
without somebody around to be shining a light.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And and I think, I mean, we don't want to run away. We don't want
Right.
to run away, but,
Yeah, they're definitely places you could get stuck in.
and,
Yeah.
then experiences with friends and relatives who have been depressed, and that
Yeah.
whole,
Yep.
you can just get lost in that as well.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. We have certainly an experience in my husband's family, a lot of mental illness, and what is it like to healthily dip in to some of the places that may be stimulating some of the depression without floundering or
Right.
sinking.
Well, I mean, I think that's why we have guides, right? That's why we have therapists. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's their job. I mean, therapists or rabbis or,
Yeah.
whatever guides of any sort, doctors, I don't know.
Right. To
Whatever.
know how long to stay and when to come back out, when to
Exactly.
take a memento and bring it to the light.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. And what's the work that you do now?
So I relocated from Maine recently, and now I'm teaching international students, and I work with urban first generation students on who are applying to college. So
Oh,
I work with
cool.
them on their applications, and it's great. It's just so much fun. I just love it.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
great.
seeing them bring their selves, their voices to other, to the world. It's just, it's very satisfying.
Oh, excellent. Well, I am going to stop this video here.
All right.